This economy is so bad. $33 for toilet paper? We can't even afford to shit.
Like, are we dead serious right now? Like, are we dead ass? Is this real life?
Oh my gosh, $21.99 a pound, $42.82 for those two ribeyes.
This much of fucking toilet paper? $32.99. Am I?
But I have a question. Since when is a Cheeto bag $7.29?
I've never seen this. Crazy. American dollars. Dog.
$8 for a 12-pack of pop? I mean, that seems a little steep. Is it just me or?
Coffee is very expensive now, y'all. Look at that, $24.
What's going on?
I just want no cereal. Cereal, milk.
Marmite is $10.
That's fucking horrible.
Somebody explain this.
$7.49 for some hazelnut Nutella spread.
Hey, whoever started this shit, I'll beat your ass. $1.99 for a Capri Sun pouch, but I'll beat the fuck out you.
$6.15 fucking cents for a half a pound of Greek hot sweet peppers. What the hell? Is this what you voted for? The highest fucking food cost I've ever seen in my entire life? $9 for some damn pizza sauce. $10 fucking for a small pack of Starbucks coffee. Oh my god. Got a dang sweet treat for the dog. $20. Sweet treat for the dog. Sorry. $20. I guess you're gonna have to just find me fucking stinking. Cause look at that. Clearance. $8.39. I'm telling you right now. We're going to be paying $100,000 for a loaf of bread before this administration is over. The same administration that told us that on day one energy prices would come down, that the war in the Ukraine would be over, that the price of gas and food and it's all going to be a miracle. And if you go on their Instagram page right now, they're telling you it is a miracle. Only we can see. Our wallets know.
Grocery prices are out of fucking control. I normally go to Costco every 2 weeks. And this week when I went, I got to the cashier and he rang me up. He said $495. Then I looked at my wife, she looked at me and she said, "Can you add a cookie and a ice cream sundae on that?" While she's waiting in line to get her ice cream sundae and her cookie, I started going through the receipt because I want to make sure that I didn't get overcharged for anything or I didn't get charged twice. And I counted every item and sure as shit, it was right. And I still have to go to Save Mart. And I got to put in gas. That's probably going to be a good $700-800 that I spent today just in food and gas. This is fucking crazy. If you guys went grocery shopping today or you went to Costco, drop in the comments, how much did you spend? And are you having to pull back on anything that you're buying? Because like I said, I didn't buy anything different. I went in, got what I always buy, walked out in fucking shock.
This isn't just inflation. This is pressure. And for millions of Americans, this is becoming unsustainable. People were promised lower prices on day one, but now people are paying more than ever for food, for gas, and survival. And Maga will never admit that they were wrong.
I'm not willing to admit that I was wrong, so I'm going to pretend that I love it and that this was the plan.
The price of ground beef is now more than the federal minimum wage. Yes, if you work the federal minimum wage of $7.25, you cannot afford a pound of ground beef. This is supposed to be the era of affordability. We were supposed to have cheaper prices on day one. What day is it? Somebody tell me. But it's not day one. We're in year 2. And all the people are going to run to the comments and say, well, it's not that easy. Look at the mess that Biden left us. Look at what he did with our prices. Biden lowered inflation, got it under control, and Donald Trump was supposed to come in and deliver the finishing blow. That's what you told us. That's what he told us. And here we are on day probably 450, and there are no better prices in sight. In fact, everything is more expensive. Gas, groceries, houses, utilities. It doesn't matter what you name, it is more expensive. In a country where the federal minimum wage is less than a pound of chopped up beef, what a sick place to live in.
Most Americans don't understand that the price of absolutely everything is going to double in the next 2 weeks. I just got this email from a vendor who is already increasing all their prices just due to the surging cost of fuel. Depending on what the United States does tonight to Iran could determine the fate of the entire rest of the world ongoing. Most people think that this is just about oil and that the price of gas will go up. However, that is not the case. The most important resource that we could lose access to is fertilizer. If we cannot grow food and feed animals, most nations will starve. I've seen so many people in my comments saying that this will never happen to the United States, but you're already starting to see shortages across the world with gas, fertilizer, and much, much more. This is a trickle-down effect and will eventually impact the United States drastically. To prepare, I would be buying a quarter or a half cow because the price of meat will go up drastically. I would also save up on some food rations and things that you can have stored for at least 3 to 6 months. You couple this with energy costs going way, way up, especially coming into one of the hottest summers that we are set to have on record, things could get very dicey here in the next few months. I would also start to be thinking about what other sources of income you can provide you and your family. Things like side hustles or flipping things are going to be crucial right now to stockpile on some cash because things are about to go up dramatically, and I don't imagine that your job is going to start paying you double just because the price of everything just went up. It's time to get prepared, and this time for real.
Gas shortage has reached New York. I was just holding the pump for this guy so he could back up behind me and he could get some gas because I went to like 4 different places until I found a gas station that had enough gas for me to fill up my tank. 4 different gas stations, that's like an hour of my life.
Gas prices, when I first got my driver's license in 2016, I remember looking at the pump and it was $1.99 per gallon. And then I think it like topped off at like $2.14. And I remember when it went over the $2, I was like, how am I gonna be able to afford filling up my Chevy Cruise at the age of 16, working as a server 2 nights a week? To fill up my little Chevy Cruise, it was $25, if that. Now, $25 gets me maybe a quarter of a tank and a Hyundai Tucson. That's all. That's all.
Look at that. You gotta be fucking kidding us, Ruffles.
A regular Coke, 3 for $20.97. Like actual soda, $21.
What the fuck? Used to get a whole cup.
$13.99? $14? For what? A gallon of orange juice? Y'all must be out of y'all.
For 2 pounds of lunch meat, $23. How the hell we supposed to feed our kids on this crap?
Truly, look at this. Look how small this pack is. Seriously? That fits like in my palm. Crazy.
The grocery stores are like, it look like it haven't even been touched.
You know, however, I do understand that the prices of food have gotten completely out of hand. Like, some of these prices are absolutely insane. But let me tell you something. $7.49 for some hazelnut Nutella spread is absolutely bonkers. What are you telling me? This is absolutely insane right now. Somebody please explain this to me. Thanks.
I'm gonna leave this here so people can reminisce how it used to be back in the good old days.
Thinking twice about driving somewhere these days? I know, you're not alone. And it's something everyone is thinking about as gas prices continue to surge. And they are up now 33% since August of 2022, averaging around $4 a gallon across the country. And if you're in a big urban city like New York or Los Angeles, where I'm located, it's even higher. Gas is averaging $5.90 a gallon in Los Angeles, and we've even seen some places charging $8 a gallon. This is according to The Guardian. And I just did a trip from LA to San Francisco, and gas was typically above $6 a gallon. Now, these outsized prices are due to the war in Iran, and it's just affecting oil and gas around the globe. And here in California, we're about to enter the summer months where we switch to summer blend gas, which is going to be more expensive because it's costlier to make because it's more environmentally friendly. So we do want to protect the environment, but we're already all struggling to meet our expenses, and to have this added fuel cost on top of it is just making life harder for tons of Americans.
You know what's a damn shame? I just paid $4.09 a gallon for gas. $4.09 a gallon. I remember when gas was 89 cents a gallon when I was back in the 70s. $4.09 a gallon.
This is where the frustration turns into anger, betrayal, and even fear. Because for millions of Americans, this wasn't supposed to happen. They were told relief was coming. They were told the system would work for them again. But instead, every trip to the grocery store feels like a reminder that something is broken. It's a system where wages struggle to keep up, where corporations continue to post record profits, and where ordinary people are forced to make impossible choices: rent or food, gas or groceries, survival or stability. The conversation around capitalism and corporate greed isn't happening in classrooms anymore. It's happening in kitchens, in checkout lines, and in everyday life. People are living it. And now with rising global tensions pushing gas prices even higher, the pressure is only building. For families already stretched thin, there's no cushion left, no backup plan, just more strain. That's why the anger feels so intense, especially among those who believed things would change quickly. At some point, this stops being about politics and starts being about survival. And the question millions are quickly asking right now is this: how much longer? Can we keep going like this? Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.